Welcome
Purple
to
Moon.
Purple Moon. Purple Moon game, Secret Pass to the Sea. This is the Windows 98 game that they made, and so it's one I can still run. Secret Pass to the Forest, Rockettes New School. Those are the ones I played with my best friend when we were kids. I discovered Secret Pass to the Sea even existed when I was much older. The internet was not a thing, or not really much of a thing at this time, so it's harder to know about games like this one. But it's basically the same as Secret Pass to the Forest. It's just at the sea. Some of the characters are the same. You learn about their problems, and they tell you a folk tale that has a lesson for you somehow, and maybe the girl gets the lesson, maybe she doesn't, but there's always something to learn from our little friends in the treasure box. And, I remember some of their names off the top of my head, but not all of them. I've played this game a couple of times. I'm hoping I can play through it pretty well without having to resort to a guide. Though some of their puzzles are find the minuscule spot on the screen and click on it and you win. So those take a little more time. But here's our little friends. I think Viva was the only one who was in Secret Pass to the Forest as a main character. Some of these others appeared as side characters in stories. I remember Nicole from Rockettes New School because she was kind of the, mean girl, I guess, or she seemed to be a mean girl. But now we're going to find out, does she have problems of her own? So, but what's the story of this lighthouse? Here we find this little book with a heart. It's so cute and pastel and 10-year-old girl that it hurts. Perhaps that's the girl who owns this little diary. We'll learn her story. I'll try to keep up and read through it. Hail, trusted friend. My name is Bronwyn, though my father calls me wee dreamer, probably because he thinks my tale's pure fancy. I've lived upon this emerald isle for all my 10 years. Alas, though I hate to part from this enchanted lighthouse, leave I must, for the time has come for me to share this magic with other fortunate girls who will pass this way. I leave for you these pages from my journal. It's a diary of my strange adventures on these shores. Fear not, for you are never alone in this place. 7 girls do keep this house, and will welcome your help and friendship. Search with your heart, and you will uncover delightful surprises. I have stumbled upon the most curious structure. Wolfie was tracking a scent in the brambles when suddenly we emerged from the thicket to find a tall, whitewashed lighthouse looming before us. I sent Wolfie home and climbed a winding stair. I soon came upon a most magical treasure chest. By looking into 7 enchanted portraits, I met 7 new friends. They all are from another time and place, but even so, I find we are much alike. Tomorrow I will come back. I arrived early this morn, when the sun crested the waves. I closed the chest, and lo, there were my new friends, seated in front of me. Each girl told me her fate, her tale, and with my heart I offered to help them work through their troubles. Suddenly a second door, that earlier I found closed tight, began to shimmer. But alas, the day turned to dusk. I made haste for home, but by all the leprechauns in Ireland, I promise I will open this door tomorrow. Or 11 days later. Blasted storms, truly I've been a prisoner in my own craft, held fast by the dripping weather. Mummy said it was too cold and windy to run in the fields. I've been full of longing to return here. I've stoked up a fire in the cheery pot-bellied stove. I just returned from the most wondrous place. Indeed, the shimmering door did open. I found myself upon a path of incredible beauty. There I found murmuring waterways and all sorts of strange sounds, plants and animals, even puzzles to solve. Everything water, rocks, sky, and stars were enchanted. When I first arrived, a starfish appeared and changed color, and I came upon something exciting. And a bonny little seahorse showed me the way forward and back. Also, a velveteen purple pouch was mine to carry. With each puzzle I solved, a magical stone would appear. When I touched each jewel, a message of inspiration revealed itself. I placed each stone within my pouch, and lo, The stones traveled back with me to the lighthouse. The treasure chest has stored them safely for me. What's more, when I returned with each sparkling jewel, a most curious thing happened indeed. Each stone tumbled out of my pouch and was strung into a glittering garland necklace. When I presented the garland to my new friend, I found that the necklace contains a fey and potent power, but I fear the secret is too important to expose it here, to this person I'm telling to do it to. Diary, it has been long since I've had the time to write to you of my curious adventures. Time, I wonder if the fairy mists the enchantment of my 7 new friends. I realize that it is father who is dreaming, not I. I have discovered that each of my friends holds the power to unlock the door, and that with each friend I am transported to a different world. Surely I will burst with anticipation to explore each world. I find that every time I return to this house, no matter the days I've been away, my stones and garlands are guarded well within the chest. So I guess it saves your progress, which is good. I think this is a cute way to tell me how to play this little game that, explains the little seahorse thing and the little hearts. But the most important piece of the game is to redecorate the lighthouse. Obviously, priorities. So each of these little pieces, I don't think you can customize everything, but make things look nice. Turn the little lantern on. Make it rain outside, keep Bronwyn away. Lighthouse is all ours.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'd never want anyone to know, but my parents want me to do so many things, and I'm just so busy. Sometimes I wish I could just make everything stop.
It's rough stuff, kid.
Being really popular has a lot of responsibilities. I mean, I like to paint my nails, and I spend a lot of time on my hair, because everyone notices stuff like that. But my mom, Miss Super Exec, loads a lot on me, too. Flute lessons before school, gymnastics after school, museums and horseback riding lessons on the weekends, and then there's homework. Sometimes it's just too much.
So maybe it's not as easy to be popular as everybody thinks. Or rather, everybody has problems, even if they're not the same problems as yours. Or to the same degree. But it's all about perspective, I think the little clamshell represents the difficulty of the puzzle. Since I haven't played in a while, I'm totally going to check it out and play on 1 pearl difficulty. So let's see, I guess memorize the order of the drippy drips from the stalactites and click them in that same order. I remember stalactites because it's got a C in it, like ceiling. My husband says stalactites or stalagmites might hang from the ceiling, but they don't. So I guess we got it all covered between us. We're never going to get confused about that. Our message of inspiration is camels can't carry everything. Now it's the straw that breaks the camel's back. So put that together with Nicole's little tale of woe, and you can think about that. So they sometimes have shimmery storybook moments.
Nicole, being good just isn't good enough in today's world. If you want to be anyone in life, you've got to be the best.
But Dad, I'm already doing everything I can. I mean, I am the most popular girl in class. Besides, I'm doing all this extra stuff, too.
Sweetheart, what your father means is that if you're going to have a bright future, you must make sure you stay ahead of the competition. It's all part of growing up.
Well, then what if I don't want to grow up? I mean, it seems like the older I get, the more stuff I have to do to keep up with everybody else. How come I can't just play with my friends sometimes?
I wonder sometimes maybe you should talk to the butler guy. Maybe he has some insight for you on the other side of this, Maybe he stressed himself out in school. Maybe he didn't. But so just making sure there's nothing here. Not every scene has something. Even some of them don't have any story or puzzle. The first time I played this one, it confused me quite a bit because I assumed, like the first stalactite puzzle, it was just click the flowers in order again. But it was a little more complicated than that. And I was not paying attention as well as I should have been when I was looking at the order of the flowers. Basically, you just have to catch them as they fall down the waterfall, but in the order that they opened up in the little shoreline. So, see if that works out for us. Oh, no, that one's too late. It has to still be on the waterfall. So, there we go. All better. Solve the puzzle. Will help poor little Nicole figure out how to balance. Because birds have to be free. It's our message of inspiration, I guess. It's all up to interpretation. We were kids watching those. It was pretty difficult to interpret them sometimes. Usually we would just kind of riff on them.
I can see it already. This summer's gonna be hideous. I've got summer classes for a month, plus my parents are making me take a computer class on top of everything else. At least I'll get to go to the stables more. But I just wish I could drop something, you know? I mean, I feel like everything's out of control. Like, I don't even have time to eat breakfast most days. It takes so long getting my hair decent, I just have one of those breakfast bars that Mom and Dad eat. Yucko!
Parents were probably right about those computer classes, though. You know, as things turn out. Hey, you stole my leaf. But don't worry, this skunk is here. Hey, man, that's rude. Rude. I mean, what kind of puzzle is that? I love it. You should have brought an umbrella, I guess. It's inspiration of some kind. You can play the puzzles again, but the stone will turn into a hedgehog if you do that. See if there's anything here. There's no little Ripley story thing. There's no clamshell, which is how you know there's definitely a puzzle. Just a nice little scene. I do like that, you know, you hold the little starfish over the water. It makes a water splashy noise. You know, this game is really cute. Little watercolor treatment on, I think, real photography, if I'm not mistaken, at least for some of it. I think it's real. Not gonna lie, do not know how to solve this puzzle. Probably should have, but definitely just clicked until it worked. Which, you know, isn't that just life? Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. And I just kind of do things until they happen. Maybe that's a life lesson, too, for the young girls. Maybe I learned that from Secret Paths. Maybe I didn't know that until I played this game. But I feel like I sort of instinctively knew that. Just do things, and then something will happen. Ta-da! Fire was the answer. Fire is always the answer. Or is it the question? Talking on the phone. I am inspired. Talking on a corded phone, standing in the kitchen. Now that is how I lived my life for a long time. Cordless phones were the best. Though I used to love twisting the cord. The corded phone.
Well, hello, Miss Whitaker. How nice of you to join us.
I'm sorry, Miss McKinney. I got here as quickly as I could. My dad was late picking me up.
Gee, Nicole, where have you been? That sure doesn't smell like mud.
What do you mean, Bo? Oh, no! What am I going to do? This is hideous. I'm totally humiliated. I'll never live this down. And it's all because I didn't have enough time to change. I can't stand this anymore.
That's rough, buddy. We can all identify with that. You know, just everybody laughing. Or feeling like everybody's laughing. Though in that case, they really were. But how about that 90s cool guy with his little leather jacket, little bow, just being rude. Now, is Nicole usually rude? Is she a mean girl? But does that mean she deserved it? I don't think so. But it's a little sound puzzle. Just match the noises. I really was not sure. I was definitely just clicking until I figured out why I was just clicking. I don't know what the harder version of this is. I think that it separates the steps into two different sounds for each, like the flat and then the front piece of the stair. Ah, so that looks like a preview of the folktale that will clearly tell us what we need to know how to deal with parents overstressing us because they want the best for us. Hey, buddy. He's hungry. Adorable. Well, here you go, man. Oh, I just gotta put it on top of you because that's how life works. I know that there's something because I can see the stone. Get the raccoon to go over there. How quickly that would have occurred to me at the age of 10, I'm not sure. I'm sure we would have figured it out eventually, but I think the owner's manual that comes with the game tells you as well. Little hints for each scene so you know which one's which. There was one, I think it was the soccer girl in Secret Paths to the Forest. There was one scene, I think it took us literally years to figure that one out because it was just like click something in this scene and you can't find it, and went over every inch of the screen and finally got it. Here's your reward for helping us, little raccoon friend. Oh, a lighthouse. Yep, we got all the jewels. Let's learn things.
Stronger than stone. Many years ago, there lived a young stonecutter named Moro. Moro worked with his father, and together they lived a simple yet happy life. That is until one day when a prince rode by in a beautiful carriage. Oh, I wish you could be a powerful prince, his father sighed. Little did Moro know that a sprite, hidden amidst the rock, had heard his father and decided to grant his wish. Suddenly, Moro found himself clad in silken clothing and shoes of fine brocade. Moro had become a wealthy prince. Moro hadn't a care in the world. But one thing disturbed his father's happiness. Every day as he strode through Moro's gardens, he couldn't escape the sun's burning rays. That ball of fire is more powerful than the prince. Royalty isn't good enough. I wish Moro were the sun. The sprite was still listening. No sooner were the words spoken, but Moro blazed in the sky, scorching the faces of prince and stonecutter alike. Now Moro missed many things of his princely life, but only one thing disturbed his father's happiness. Moro could not overcome the heavy clouds that filled the sky with rain. If only Moro were the rain, his father lamented. Then he would be even better than the sun. Little did Moro's father know that the sprite could still hear him. Instantly his wish was granted. Moro lashed upon the land and boats capsized on the seas. Now my son is the greatest in all the land, boasted Moro's father. Now Moro was quite unhappy, wet as he was. But only one thing disturbed his father's happiness. There on the shore stood a huge boulder, completely unmoved by Moro's rainwater. The strength of the boulder infuriated his father. Clearly the rock holds the greatest power in all the land. Moro must be the rock, the old man boomed. The sprite amidst the rocks heard this wish, and swift as lightning Moro became the massive rock. Now Moro was very depressed indeed, but at last he had become the best in all the land. Perhaps his father would finally be pleased. Suddenly, Moro's father heard a faint chip-chap, chip-chap. It was a stonecutter, chipping away at Moro's face. Moro cried, "Enough! If only I could be a stonecutter again, then I would possess the power to cut the rocks." The sprite heard Moro's wish, and it was instantly granted. Moro's father marveled at his son's strong arms. So relieved was he to see Moro as himself that he swore to never make another wish again. And from that day forward, there was nothing that disturbed their happiness.
I guess it's important for me to succeed in everything. But how can I be my best when I'm totally tired and stressed out? I really have to tell Mother and Dad what I need. Maybe they'll let me visit Graham this summer. At Graham's I can read and go for walks by the lake and write in my diary. Graham always lets me just be myself, and that's the best.
I mean, realistically, I feel like she did talk to her parents and they ignored her. Now, Mary, maybe she can relate to them better now because she understands that what they're doing is just trying to make her life better. But you know, who she is pretty nice. Maybe she has time. Maybe she can learn horseback riding when she's a little older. I don't know how much of a priority that is. Although she seems to actually like doing that one, so that's going to be a tough sell. Hopefully she figures it out. But I do love the little voice performances in that little story. That was pretty adorable. That the guy on the one thing. It's like a little comedy, but got to admire the production quality of this, 1998-99 game. Got the box here. It's gonna tell me. 1998. It is a 1998 game. It's, holds up pretty well. The fact that it still runs at all is pretty amazing. But so I play through the other girls' stories, see what I can learn, apply to my own life. But thanks for joining me on my first video. More to come.